makers, today we're going to be making a super easy project using my Thunderbolt laser. I'll be creating teacher appreciation gifts, which include a personalized sticky note holder and then a matching custom ruler for my daughter's teacher. And trust me, this project is so practical and it's also so personalized. So stick around if this is something that you are interested in learning how to create. So like I mentioned, today's project, we are going to be using the Thunder Laser Bolt, and I'm going to walk you through how to create this design using Adobe Illustrator. And this project includes two super functional pieces that a teacher is likely going to be ecstatic about receiving. And because we're making our colors and our design kind of match, I think it's going to be such a great project. So first, let's talk about what the supplies are that we are going to be using for this particular project. The very first material that I'm going to be using, which is going to serve as the base of the sticky note holder and the base of the ruler, is True Flat MDF, and I'm going to be using it in the color oak. Now, I love using this material because it has a really nice finished look to it. You can probably get away with using about half of this sheet. So we're going to be using this. Then I'm also using acrylic in a couple of different colors. Now, this will vary. I'm using pink, white, and green. You do not have to use those colors if you do not want to. You can even use MDF and paint the embellishments that we cut out. So that is completely up to you. But because I'm trying to avoid the painting, we are going to just use acrylic. And then we're going to use the adhesive of your choice to adhere everything together. The adhesive that I'm going to be using is the All Craft multi glue. I love this glue because it has this super tiny tip on it and it's perfect for gluing those tiny little pieces that we will be cutting out using the bolt. So before we dive into cutting and assembling this project, I'm going to walk you through how to create this project in Illustrator and then give you some of the key things that you need to look for when you are creating layered projects like this. So let's dive in and talk about how to bring this design to life. Okay, so here I am in Adobe Illustrator, and here is what we're ultimately going to be creating using our bolt. So let's walk through the different steps that I take to create this sticky note holder. First, we're going to need to know what size sticky note pad we're going to put in this holder. So we know that most sticky note pads are about 3 by 3 inches. So you're going to want to make sure that you know exactly which kind of notepad you are using for this. So I know I'm going to use one that is 3 by 3. So let's go ahead and start with that. Let's make a rectangle that is 3 by 3. And we know that we want it to be a tad bit larger because we want the sticky note to fit in there nicely, but not just like super snug. We want it to be able to kind of move around a little bit. You can either eyeball this or you can be so incredibly meticulous and just adjust the dimensions. So I'm going to adjust it and maybe just do like 3.3 and 3.3. So now we know that that is going to fit really nice. And because I want to kind of finish this off a little, I'm actually going to round the corners just a little bit, just so it has like a nice feel to it. Then you're going to want to create kind of like a finger indentation area because you're going to want to make a spot where they can remove and add a new sticky note holder. The easiest way to do that is to just grab the ellipse tool, and I'm just going to draw a little circle. We're going to align this circle right in the center, and if you want to make it perfectly aligned, you're going to select Align and click on Horizontal Align Center. And then I'm just going to Pathfinder unite them. And that is good to go. I'm just going to remove that fill so I have a stroke line on that. Now I'm going to be thinking about what I want on the outside of that sticky note holder. So obviously I want to have some kind of border. I want to be able to personalize it, and I want to have some embellishments on here. So you can see that I created these little flower embellishments. So let's go ahead and do that. Going to grab my shape tool. I'm going to grab a rectangle and just eyeball this a little bit. Kind of go something like that. Okay, so I want a little bit of space up here to add a name, and then I want a little bit of space on both corners to be able to add some flowers. The flowers I drew using the rotate tool. You can play around with how you create them. So I literally just grabbed the ellipse tool, drew a shape, went to Object, Repeat, Radial, and created a flower like this. And then I just sort of tweaked the anchors on this flower just to make it look a little bit more organic. You can adjust this however you want. So that looks super cute. So that's how I did it. Then I just went and made sure that I expanded that path and united the whole thing together. Remove that center and put in a little circle. And so that's how I created that flower. So I'm gonna actually take the flowers that I created over here and let's go into how to create this design. So I want to have the flowers kind of come off the edge of that. So let's just make these a tad bit bigger. And the simplest way to do this is let's group this together and we're going to go to Object, create an offset. So I'm going to go Offset Path, and I'm going to add about 0.05. And it gives me kind of a nice offset with that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, make sure that I have this offset selected and this back piece selected, and I'm going to unite them. And so now you can see that I have, this is perfectly in that place. And so if you want to create scored lines for yourself, then you're going to do something similar. You're going to select the floral pieces. Let's just ungroup this so I can select it. You're going to select these florals right here, and you are going to go to Object, and you're going to go to Path and Offset Path, but we're going to create a negative path so the stroke goes on the inside, just like that. Okay, so now I have a negative path, and I'm going to change that color to a different color. So that I know that that is a stroke line, okay? And then I'm just gonna pull off these embellishments right here. And I know that these are gonna be cut out with different color acrylic. So this is essentially the piece that's in the front. These are the scored lines that I am going to need to tell me where exactly to glue these. And so they are gonna be hidden because they're a tad bit smaller, okay? And then you can add whatever embellishments you want to the design. You can add your name. You can do whatever you want. But then all you're going to do is select this back piece and duplicate it. And that is going to serve as your backer piece. So this piece right here is going to glue right on top of there. So I'm going to bring this into LightBurn and get everything set up so that we can cut it out. Okay, here I am in LightBurn, and you can see that I already have parts of my design set up on different layers. I have my black layer, which is set as a line layer, and that's going to cut. And you can see that I added my embellishments on the red layer, and I'm going to select the settings for an acrylic cut. And before I start my cut, I'm going to do a quick autofocus. And here you can see that I am setting up the autofocus. I love that the probe actually goes and touches the material to focus. And then you can actually set the origin of where you want your laser to begin cutting. You can do that right from the laser. Then I'm going to go ahead and frame the design to make sure that I have it set up in the right spot. And then we're going to start cutting. Okay, we have everything cut out. And with the sticky note holder, we have that backer piece. We have the front piece. And all we're going to do is apply adhesive to both layers. So we're going to do that right now. And I'm going to make sure that I add some adhesive here. Now, if you prefer, you can totally use 3M backing. You could totally use dual tight. Whatever you prefer. I just prefer using adhesive. We're going to take this and we're going to put that right on top, right there, and make sure that all of your sides are flush. And there we go. And I'm going to give that a nice press. And you can see that we added those scoring placement marks right here. And so this is going to show us exactly where to put those embellishments that we created. So I used acrylic, I used white acrylic, and I used pink acrylic. And so what I'm going to do is peel off the masking of my acrylic. I usually like to use my Cricut weeding tool to peel these off. So one of the things that I absolutely love about the Bolt is that it has the pull-out tray so that all these tiny little pieces, when they fall through the tray, I can just pull that out and grab them and not have to be searching for them. So I love that I was able to do that. And there you have it, a beautiful personalized teacher appreciation gift made with your Thunderbolt laser. The combination of the wood and acrylic gives it such a modern and polished look, and the ruler adds this special personal touch. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you make this for your kids' teacher? If you enjoyed this kind of project, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more laser crafting ideas.